Well, hello again. I want to show you today how to apply mink oil to leather. When you get a new item that is leather, such as a pair of shoes, like I just got the Sperry topsiders, the Gold Cup edition, which I love very much. And I'm going to put mink oil on them, which will help them last 20 years. I had my last pair for over 20 years. And then, of course, my new Hank's belt. So we'll start with a Hank's belt. First thing you need is mink oil. I'll put a link for this down below. I got it on Amazon. I love it. I just got this big honking tub of it, and it's going to last me forever. I use a shop rag, okay, to apply it, or my fingers, one or the other. But let's do the belt first. This is a Hank's belt, all right? These are super expensive, but these are the kind of things that your grandkids, not just your kids, your grandkids will inherit. So basically, you just, look at, see that? It's about the consistency of like margarine or something like that, which I haven't had in a long time. So you take the mink oil, get it on your finger like that. It's not going to hurt. Just always have the rag nearby. And what you're going to do is you're just going to rub it on. That's all. It is going to discolor just a little bit. Don't worry about it. See what I'm doing here? And it's just, I'm just rubbing it into the grain of the leather all the way. Just that little bit is going to be enough for the whole belt. And this keeps the leather from cracking. Now, when you get a Hank's belt, these belt buckles come off. They have what they call Chicago screws that come off. They literally, this is like the screw, and this is kind of like the nut. And you just cover the leather. I do both sides. I like my leather to be soft. One thing you never do with leather is never heat it up. For instance, like if you get leather wet, if you have a work day and your belt gets wet, don't put it on a radiator. See what I'm doing? It's such a light coat. Just that little, watch. When I did this and took that much, that whole amount was for the belt. Back to the topic. Do not put your belt on a radiator or a heat source. It's going to crack it. Okay, literally, Hank's belts are guaranteed for 100 years. 100 years. What else is guaranteed for 100 years? Okay, like your great-grandchildren can say, you know, yeah, my great-grandfather got this and the buckle malfunctioned. You know, he bought this 75 years ago. I'd like to return it. We'll take it back. It's an amazing belt. It is an absolutely amazing belt. Now, if it was extremely dry, see my broken hand? Isn't that crazy? This hand is so jacked up. If it was really super dry, I would literally just leave it overnight and let it absorb the oil. Just from the heat of my hands. And don't forget, you're getting the edges too. Okay? The edges. Now this is my first Hank's belt. It's the last black belt I'll ever have to buy, obviously. Now you can take a soft cloth and wipe off any excess oil. Not that there is any left, but remember, get the edges, and I'm just going to let that sit while I do something else. The other thing is shoes. Now I just got these are the Sperry Topsider Gold Cup edition. It's amazing. Never wear these with socks because they literally, after about 2 weeks of wearing them, they literally form to your feet. Now, brand new, these go for about $169. I ended up getting these on closeout because I don't believe they make this color. This is dark blue and gray. It almost looks black, doesn't it? And I think I got this for like $69. But they're going to last you 20 years. My last ones literally lasted me over 20 years. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of this. That right there. That's enough for one of the shoes. That's enough for one. Undo your laces. Okay. Just loosen them right up. Get in there. Now, remember, it's not going to discolor the laces or anything like that. And what I'm doing is I'm just using that same amount that I had and I'm putting it on everything. Tongue of the shoe, the edges, like this, the edges. This also helps waterproof them. And what you're doing is the area that you first put it on, you're going back and accessing that area to reapply the oil to your hands. I like getting these rawhide laces. These rawhide laces are all one piece. Okay, they go all the way through and then out through the holes here, the eyelets, and then, but I get everything. I get front and back. These things become waterproof. Be careful of, I don't want to say be careful, just be aware that if you get the lighter colored topsiders, they are going to be darker after you put mink oil on them. Now, when it comes to topsiders, and I've had these, for maybe a month now. Remember, when you go like this, like squeeze this, okay, that leather there that's in contact with the sole, that kind of gets hidden. See that? It's like it's in there. So I want you to literally pull that back like that, okay? And get the mink oil in there. Because that's the part that's going to get wet all the way around. And also be aware that water comes in through stitching as well. That's why I'm getting the stitches completely saturated, 100% saturated. The toe, same thing here, watch. Now, I'm not putting anything on the inside here. So wicked soft on the inside, you can't even imagine. But right here, okay, you want to get it like right in there. So you want to kind of go like that, and see that you want to get right in there, like that. Make sure you spread it in there. These will last you 20 years. Now, this is, topsiders and moccasins are an addiction. If you're not aware of that, they are an addiction. And what's going to happen is you'll end up getting different colors, like I did, you know, for different reasons. Some you can wear with dress pants, and you know, I never wear socks with them ever. And I admit, it's a certain look. It's a look. There are some that are more like camp mocks and have like a rougher sole. These are more like deck soles, which I like because in my everyday life, on not a boat deck, but like my deck here, driveways, you know, that kind of stuff, this sheds water. You will not slip. These are literally. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to get the laces so they never crack. These will last, you know, literally. I may never have to replace these laces until I'm 80 years old. I'm serious. They might last me till I'm 80. Can you imagine me at 80 years old And someone says, hey, where'd you get those shoes? And I said, I got them when I was 60. And I'm just completely, and they're literally, they're as flexible as like a wet noodle. And I'm making sure that I get in here too. Okay. And it does make them a little bit darker. I'll take off the other one and show you real quick. All right. So this is the difference. Can you see the difference? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take the shop rag that I have. And this is a shop rag from the Bearded Bastard. And I'm not polishing, I'm just wiping off any excess. And there's not a lot of excess there, okay? Literally, just. And then also, anything that's like in here, just get a little end of the shop rag, you know, like a piece of the shop rag, like this, like that. And get in there, because what'll happen is if there's excess oil in there, guess what happens? It collects dirt. We don't want that. We want it to shed water and not collect dirt. So I'm just removing any excess. And in the next 24 hours, any of the oil that's on the surface here that I just put on is going to absorb in even more. And then I'm going to want to wipe it again with a rag tomorrow. I'm not polishing it. Okay, remember, I'm not polishing it. Now I'm going to put it on my foot and tie it. And it's now conforming to my foot. Let me just show you real quick. Hold on. Balance myself here. Whoops. All right. All right. See this now? Wait. Let me come over this way. All right. Right here. See that? My knee got knobby. In the past, like 5 years, I never had like bony knees. Now my knees are like bony. The joy of aging, right? All right. You can see, very, very form-fitting to the foot. Very form-fitting. And so I'm going to do that to the second one. The belt. Now I'm going to polish the belt. And I'm not polishing it to a sheen. I'm just taking off any extra oil, which it's negligible. And I'm getting the edges. Remember the edges. The buckle area. And you know who's hard on belts is people whose weight goes up and down, where like the belts that I've had in the past, literally the, let me fix this thing, hold on. All right, that's better. The holes and the belt just gets gnarly after a while. It just looks like crap. All my belts end up looking like crap because I end up going through all the holes when my weight goes up and down. So, and you can see some of the dye is coming off a little bit. And I'm cool with that. And this is a brand new belt. This is probably only a couple weeks old. Now watch, I'm just going to show you an area that I kind of polished. Not really polished, like I said, just wiped off. Can you see the sheen? It's a very matte finish versus this, which is even more matte. So, which means I got to wipe off a little more of the mink oil. You can put it on a flat surface or just do it the way that I'm doing it here. I tend to like the initially the shop rag. You know why? Because it's a little rougher, and any of the dye that's going to come off will come off on this. Do not use a good towel. Do not use your wife's good washcloths, all right, because she'll kill you. Make sure to get the edges. And then the buckle area, really get the buckle area, because that takes a lot of stress, okay? Now, the Hanks belt. I don't have to let this sit overnight. I can just put it on. Let me get the back of the belt too, all right? The back doesn't have that same finish. It's a little bit rougher. See that? Now, what was that thing where they used to say your belt needs to match your shoes? I've got braided belts, black belts, brown belts, and then that cordovan, kind of like that maroon color. I have some of those. My next belt is going to be a belt that I just wear with jeans. My next Hanks belt. Boy, I'm doing a lot of advertising for Hanks belts, aren't I? All right, so this was a clean shop rag. Let's take a look. Okay, so not a lot of dye came off. You can just see a little bit that came off. Already, it's just more flexible. It's just already more flexible. So put that doggy on real quick. My shorts are falling off me. Well, so much weight during carnivore month, my summer shred. My shorts are just going to drop to my knees. Hanks belt. I really like them a lot. Get yourself some mink oil. I'm going to take one more, like this, that right there, and do my second shoe. So while you got a minute, go down below, click the link for the mink oil. All right, see those laces? They're going to get very, take off the other. They're going to get darkened. See how this is the one that I just did. They're a little bit darker, and these are the ones that have not been. So be aware that the mink oil will take a day or two to go in, and it's going to darken everything up a little bit. And just start doing your shoes. Get them done. Make your stuff last. You know, make your stuff last. When you spend good money on stuff, okay, don't you want it to last? So you invest in the stuff that helps your stuff last. These might be the last pair of topsiders that I have, that I wear in my life. Who knows? Well, because I am addicted to topsiders. I'm actually thinking of getting the hand-sewn ones that are made in Maine, and those are about $380, but they're made by one person from start to finish. So, never had those before. That would be a treat. I bet you never thought you'd be watching a video on how to put mink oil on a pair of shoes, right? Already my shoes are softer. Literally, they are as soft as a glove. And when you get the Gold Cup topsiders, there's memory foam underneath, super soft. When you try on the regular ones, like the leather is like rough, you know, on the inside, but these are lined with, and it's sick. It's crazy. Like there's no comparison once you put them on compared to the other ones. And the other ones are what, about anywhere between 60 and $100. Work it in, work it in, work it in, work it in, work it in. Literally just, you know. And these go great. Think about it. These things go great with jeans. Like you're not wearing socks. Remember, you don't wear socks with these. They go great with jeans. They go great with shorts. They go great, like really good with khakis. You treat them well, they will treat you well. They will last you literally 2 decades. Literally 2 decades. All right, over and out.